We have our inspiring story for you here that he actually made his national media debut on the David Letterman Show, which led him here to us at Veterans One, and we are so excited. I'm not Letterman, but I am Amy, and I am so excited to have you on.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Thank you. All right, I want to talk about it a little bit. Tell me how you ended up on David Letterman, and let's talk about that experience.
Okay. Well, Letterman was what I call the culmination of 4 years of volunteering, sometimes paying to work, working at minimum wage, just getting out there in the community. I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that I enjoyed helping people, and veterans services and that community was the first one.
You were in the trenches.
Yeah,
really.
they embraced me, and I'm like, oh, cool, I'll go help them. And one thing led to another. Once I started getting involved, just volunteering, and then one thing, I had a job. I started working, minimum wage just to get my feet wet. But during that time period, I lobbied in D.C. I got introduced legislation, on the Senate floor. I did all sorts of stuff. But Letterman was a direct result of just 4 years of out there grinding.
Out there pounding the pavement. And just so our viewers know, you're a veteran, and you did 2 deployments, didn't you?
Correct. I was a Marine Corps veteran, did 8 years. I did 2 deployments, once in 2004 and once in 2006.
Wow, I encourage our viewers to watch the entire interview on Letterman because it's really fun and really great to watch. And it gives such a sense of your personality and who you are and your passion for that time serving. I want you to share a little bit of what you shared with him, though, on when you went in and the difference in your first deployment and your second deployment and what you figured out that you loved.
What I loved the most was helping people. That was it. I did humanitarian aid, and I was giving all sorts of stuff to the people of Ramadi. And it was amazing to see what a simple soccer ball can do to a kid's day. And it was amazing to see what a bottle of water can do to a young mother's day. I mean, They're in a war zone, so something as simple as water can change their entire, not only their day, but their month, their week, their year. And I just really felt good doing that. And I didn't really care about the war. I just cared about helping those people.
Well, and that's what I love about you, because here you were in a war zone, you are serving, you're overseas, and the assignment you're doing was actually creating such a fire and a passion in you, and you can see it.
Right.
It shows in you. So you weren't becoming hardened and callous for the environment you were in, you actually became more passionate.
Right, and that's the motto of civil affairs is we care so you don't have to. And that was our job, was to win hearts and minds. And so I went out there to do a job, and I ended up finding a life purpose.
So then you come out of the military now, and speaking of jobs, which is a lot what you talk about on that interview, now what?
Exactly.
So many talk about this. They step out of the military, you're like, oh great, I just had this entire life in this world and these experiences, now what?
Right, and not only now what, but wait, what? And so what I mean by that is, so I'm doing all this humanitarian aid, millions of dollars in humanitarian aid. I even helped build an electrical grid, and I don't even know what I did, but apparently I did it well.
Well, clearly you're here.
You make it up, right? And so I applied for the job similar to what I did in the Marine Corps, and I was told I needed a master's degree. I need a degree, and I'm like, wait, I need a degree to do the job that I already did, but that's just how it is, right? So I went to go get my degree, and one of the things I learned on Letterman, and this is my message today, is I was 0 for 80. I was in my senior year. I was about to graduate that same week that I appeared, right? And I had 80 applications out there, no jobs, right? And not only that, but 2 callbacks, and they were both things but no things. And so I go on Letterman. All of a sudden, I have 500 job offers across the nation.
Power media, right?
Right, the power media. So if you ever need a career change, go on late night TV, and they'll hook you right on up. But in my career now as a veterans counselor, I had to reverse engineer that. Like, what was the main point here?
Right.
And you hear about that term, it's not about what you know to you know, right? Now, the problem with that is the internet, social media itself has made it easier than ever to get to know people, right? It's easy. We know who Jeff Bezos is. We know who Mark Zuckerberg is. We know who Bill Gates is, right? But the thing is, like, how much different would your life be, especially as with your performance career, if you can call Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Oh, yeah, it could be completely different.
Completely different.
I might be able to up my viewership a little bit more than my daughter's cat.
Way more than your daughter, at least by like 10 followers, right? But what I learned is that it's not what you know, it's who you know thing is a little misleading. It doesn't give you the entire picture. It's about who knows you.
Yes.
Right? You got to add that. Now, one of the things I have a problem with is how hiring is done. So many people have to go through multiple job interviews, and it takes months to get onboarded. And to the company's defense, they have to take all the risk. And so what they're really trying to assess here isn't if you could do the job. There are plenty of people who can do the job. What they're trying to assess is your fit in the culture.
Right.
Right.
Who are you? What's your personality?
You could be the best cybersecurity. You could be the best hacker in the world. But if you're a pain in the neck to deal with, you're not getting a job.
Right.
That's how it is.
Or you won't last if you get it.
Exactly. Right. So the company is, taking on all the risk. So that's why they're making all these candidates jump through all the hoops. I get it. Right. So you as the candidate, you need to do everything you can to show the company that you're mitigating the risk, right? And so what that means is you always have to stay ready when it comes to job searching. LinkedIn has made that easier than ever. That's one of my biggest messages. As we're heading in 2020, what we see is that one of the top New Year's resolutions is to find a new job.
Right.
Right? It's in the top 10. So what do you got to do? If you want to apply, you can, but on average, a corporate opening attracts about 125 applicants.
Wow.
Right? So if you were just to apply for that job, your chances of getting on a job is less than half a percentage point. The San Diego Chargers have a better chance to win in Super Bowl, or just as good a chance, right? And they're at 0, right? So applying for a job just isn't going to work. Or you have to apply to so many that you just hope you get lucky, right? And so what you want to do is, one, put your name out there. We work in a building, this studios is full of real estate agents. They know this, right? They know they need to get their name out there. And so that same message real estate agents do is something that everyone needs to do. They need to get out there. Right. And so people need to know you. And the best way to do that, one, build your profile and show you're worth getting to know. Right. But also assess what your skill set is. See what's out there. What skill sets do you need to do? Right? No one's going to give you anything, but you have to go out there and get it. But in the age of the internet, it's easier than ever to go out there and get it.
Right.
And so you will get exactly what you put into it.
Well, and one thing that I love about you, and it's something that I've even tried to teach my own kids, so much of your visibility and what got you to being in front of media was how much you were out there giving and volunteering and serving.
Right.
And I always advise people, go out and give and serve and put yourself in a place that you can give back to, and then people are going to know who you are.
Exactly.
Which could open up doors into what you want to be doing.
And what I tell people is don't be afraid to take risk. Right? And what am I asking you to take a risk on? I'm asking you to take a risk on yourself.
Right.
Do you believe in yourself or not? And if you do, what's the risk?
Well, there is no risk. If you're already here and you
Right.
take a risk and nothing happens, you're still where you were. But if something does happen, now you've gone forward.
Right.
There's
And-
no backwards. There's
and
only this staying the same or moving forward.
And that goes back to a study that was done by Gallup in 2017. 75% of the American workforce is unhappy at work. They're actively disengaged at work. There's a lot of people in this country who hate going to their jobs. I think that's sad. And
It is.
I know some of us have to do what we got to do, and I understand that. But for most of us, we're making a choice to go be sad.
Right.
So if you know what you need to do and you don't do it, you're choosing this. But if you know what you need to do and you go do it, you deserve whatever comes next.
I love how you're helping so many others. And going forward, I know that, can our viewers reach out to you? Is there ways that you're still out there and helping with all of these great lessons that you've learned?
So I'm about that life. Find me on LinkedIn, Moses Maddox. Connect with me. If you want me to take a look at your profile, I'll be more than happy to. But also, viewers, connect with someone in the community. Just make a connection. Yeah. And what I mean by making connection is not just press connect. Interact, talk, ask questions, right? Just be active. And if you want to start with me, I'll be more than happy to help out.
Well, we are so excited that we got to connect with you here today. And I hope that everybody's empowered and realizes, take the risk, get out there, make those changes, meet people, get connected, and go really make a difference out in the community. And you're a perfect example of that. Thank you, Moses, for inspiring us today.
Thanks for having me on.
We'll be right back with more Veterans One.